What's going on, Bleevers? Guys, we need to have a quick conversation, and drive time with Bleeve seems like the perfect place to do it. Number one, Ethereum is up to 1190 right now, which means we are surging. If you follow me on Twitter, then you will see I told you earlier that at about 2 p.m. Eastern time, it was going to break. It was going to break up or it was going to break down, and it's breaking way up right now. Now, I don't know how far this goes or how long this goes, but Bitcoin is over 20,500 as we speak. Again, not great numbers, but they're big numbers compared to where we were 24 hours ago. So let's feel good about that. Be very careful in your trading, but let's remember, we've got the Asian markets that are going to open up tonight. The Asian markets have been pretty consistent in just holding the line. It's the European market that is a big concern, and they kind of trended sideways last night, and they dumped very hard 2 nights ago. When they dumped really hard 2 nights ago, it was because the euro to US dollar value had gone way down, and that's because the US dollar is showing enormous strength around the world right now. And you might be asking yourself, if we're in a recession, why is that? Well, the reason is because US dollar is no longer in the risky assets. We had $3 trillion sitting in these risky assets called cryptocurrency, and we're no longer invested in that. We're about 900 billion. So $2.1 trillion came out of this market, and it went into bonds or lower yield, less risky investments. And that by itself strengthens the US dollar. We were trading at 37,000 in the stock market. That's down to about 31,000. So the market, by subtraction, has become stronger, and the dollar's become stronger because of it. So that dropped the euro, but that doesn't last for very long. So we're at a precipice right now where there's a few pieces of information, and this is what you as an investor have to take into account, and you have to be careful with this. On Friday, we're going to get the jobs report. The jobs report is expected to be about 200,000 jobs being added, maybe 300,000, and that is the sweet spot for investors. When they see numbers like that, that's when we start to see a surge in the stock market. So those are the good numbers. Now, the problem with that is when we see too many or when we see too few, that creates problems. But here's the other issue. On the 13th of this month, just 5 days after that, we're going to get the CPI numbers. And when we get those CPI numbers, then we're going to be looking at a large inflation number again. That inflation is not going away. That's going to cause a dump in the market. So it looks like right now we've got a chance for a run. Play this run the right way. Make your profit. Take your profit. Don't get suckered in to a meme coin. Don't get suckered into something because somebody says, LOL, it's mooning. That's foolishness. Right now is the time to be watching Bitcoin, to be watching Ethereum, to be watching the major altcoins. This is not time for high risk investment, because some of those tokens, the price is going to go up, and it's going to shoot up, and it's going to be a bad entry position. So don't get suckered into bad entry positions. Don't get suckered into anything right now. Be brave, be wise, be strong in your investments. Next, after the 13th, that's likely a period where we're going to see some dumping. Now, if you remember, the last CPI report came out, and it was 8.6%, and it started pumping the market, but then it dumped the next day. And it did the same thing the month before. So whatever is going on, be very, very careful. Even if you see a pump, don't get fooled, don't get sucked in by it. Then we have a little smooth sailing for a little time. Then we have the Fed, the FOMC meeting minutes. Those are taking place on the 26th and 27th. So we've got about a 2-week window right there. Well, hey, guess what? The United States market is going to make something up. There's going to be a reason to be upset, to be nervous, to be freaking out a little bit. The stock market doesn't work that way. There's always something on the table. But on the 26th and 27th, the FOMC is going to meet. Then we're going to find out whether we're getting 75 basis points or 50 basis points. Now, the logic dictates 75 because we're trying to drive down inflation. However, we've got a strong dollar, so this may be a fake out by the Fed. If we get 50 basis points, then you're going to see this market start to pump just a little bit because we're expecting 75. People are going to be fooled into thinking that this is a recovery. So be very, very careful. But here is the biggest problem. After that meeting on the 27th, and we find out what those basis points are, the GDP number comes out. It comes out on July 28th. And guys, we're going to be down about 2%, which means that we are officially in a recession. Gas prices are astronomical. The oil and gas prices in themselves are driving up the price of a lot of things in our economy, and that's going to lead us into bad waters. Now, when we hit the July 28th number and we see the actual recession officially taking place, we'll know we've been in there for a while, but that's going to cause a dramatic drop. This is when millionaires are made. And guys, if any of us want to be those millionaires, this is the moment that we're going to get made. July 28th. We need to find out how low this market's going to go, how much this dip is going to be, and then we need to plan accordingly, and we need to make out like bandits. Have your quote unquote dry powder on hand. Have that money that you want for that investment that you've been wanting for a long time ready to go, because this is the shot. This is the moment. These are the days when we are counting down. A lot of people are telling you that the dip has already happened, that we've already hit the lowest. And if we have, fine. I don't think so. I think we're going lower. But I think between now and then, we might have one or two pumps left in us. We might look a little bit good. We might be able to make a little bit more money. But remember, have your money on the sidelines. Be ready for that final move. Because after that final move, here's what's going to happen. We're going to be silent for a little while. We're probably going to move a little bit sideways. There might be a little bit of a bounce. It's an artificial bounce, dead cat bounce, I think they call it. And then we're going to start moving to the upside. And we're going to start moving and moving, because guess what? This crypto market wants to run. It wants to be successful, and it's going to. Mass adoption is already starting. It's already here. All you have to do is make sure that you secure yourself a great position. If you can do that, if you can weather these moments, what's happening right now, get through July 28th, let's find out what that low number is. If you can get there and we can get there, then guess what? We are gonna make it. And that's a WAGME nod, because if you haven't bought any WAGME lately, you might want to get some of that on the dip. You might want to get some Volt on the dip. You might want to get, hey, listen, Saitama's going to do 10x when this thing shakes itself out. And you might be listening to me thinking, oh, this guy's crazy. No, I'm not, because it's going to start blowing up. We're getting there. We're getting over whatever hump we have. We're getting there. So guys, this is not financial advice. My name's Bleevers. I'm always right. And you can bet your bottom dollar that we are going down some more, and then we're going to go absolutely crazy. We're talking about a $3.5 trillion to a $4 trillion market. Think about it. Imagine it for yourself, because we're all going to get there. All right, guys, we'll talk to you later.